Have you ever noticed how the most beautiful dreams often die before they even have a chance to breathe? You feel the fire in your chest. You have a vision that keeps you awake at night. You are so excited that you can't wait to tell someone. You share it with a friend. You tell your family. You post it online. And then, something strange happens. The excitement vanishes. The fire turns to ash. The energy you had for the work is gone. Most people think sharing a dream brings support. They think telling the world creates accountability. But they are wrong. Today I will show you why your biggest dreams die the moment you tell others about them. I will show you the law of the silent architect. You will learn why your mouth is the greatest enemy of your hands. If you are tired of starting projects that never finish and dreaming big but living small, listen to every word of this story. Because today we are going to stop seeking permission and start building proof. In a village at the edge of a deep forest, there lived a young woman who saw the world differently. While everyone else was content with their daily routines, she felt a different pull. She wanted to build a garden that would last beyond her lifetime. It wasn't just a garden for food. It was a place for rare plants and carved benches where the soul could find peace. She spent months collecting seeds. She studied the soil. She felt the dream like a bright fire in her heart. She did what we all do when we are happy, she told a neighbor. The woman frowned and asked why she was wasting her time when gardens already existed. She told a friend. The friend laughed and said she didn't know the first thing about rare plants and they would all die. By evening, she told 3 more people. One called her impractical. Another called her foolish. A third simply walked away as if her dream wasn't even worth a conversation. The young woman went home feeling heavy. The fire was now just a flicker. She looked at her seeds and wondered if they were all right. Maybe she was just a weaver of cloth and nothing more. Maybe she should stay small, stay quiet, stay safe. She went into the forest to clear her head and found an old woman sitting on a stone. She told the old woman about her dying dream. The old woman asked to see her hands and noted they were strong hands built for building. But then she asked a question that changed everything. When you plant a seed, do you dig it up every day to show your neighbors? The young woman said no, because that would kill the seed. The old woman nodded. Exactly. Some things need darkness and silence to grow roots. Dreams are like that. When they are new, they are fragile. Every word of doubt from someone else is like a foot stepping on fresh soil, crushing what is trying to grow beneath. Most people don't mean to be cruel, but they carry their own failed dreams and their own fears. When you share your tender vision, their fears speak louder than their love for you. They try to protect you from the disappointment they felt. They think they are being realistic, but they are wrong. There was a man named Daniel who lived in a small town. Daniel was a master of words. He would sit at the market and paint pictures with his voice. He talked about the garden he would plant. He spoke about the bridge he would fix. People loved listening to him. His words made them smile. But months passed and the bridge stayed broken. The garden was only dirt. Daniel was trapped in a cycle many of us know too well. Speaking about a dream gives you the warm feeling of accomplishment. Without any actual work, your brain gets a reward just for the promise. You feel like a hero before the battle has even begun. But words are easy and they cost nothing. Actions are expensive. They cost you your time, your effort, your comfort. Daniel met an old craftsman named Thomas who asked him a question that cut like a knife. Are you busy talking or are you busy doing? Daniel realized his words were a substitute for action. He was using his mouth to hide the fact that his hands were idle. He was a loud dreamer, but a silent builder. Real strength is knowing when to stay silent. Protection isn't about hiding forever. It's about timing. It's about knowing when your dream is strong enough to survive the storm of other people's opinions. The young woman went back to her patch of land and began the work in the early morning before the village woke. She worked in the silence of her own dedication. Sometimes she felt lonely. She wanted to show someone the first green shoots, but she remembered the old woman's warning. If she exposed the flame too soon, the wind would blow it out. She built the fence first, then the path, then the beds. 1 year later, a neighbor walked past and gasped. The garden was undeniably alive. It was beautiful. Now that it existed, their doubts could not touch it. Reality does not need permission. The dream had become a fact. Think about the blacksmith, who was known for his steady hands. A young man watched him hit a piece of iron 100 times and nothing changed. The iron looked the same. The young man thought the blacksmith was a fool. He wanted to leave at strike 99, but on the 101st strike the iron finally surrendered and flowed like water. The blacksmith said that every strike the boy called a waste was actually a victory over the metal's pride. Most people fail because they stop at strike 99. They talk about the work. They announce their progress. And when they don't see immediate results, they quit. They have hundreds of half-finished swords in their lives. The silent architect knows that the work happens beneath the surface. You must love the silence of the first 99 hits. You must be willing to be the person who works when no one is watching. The world only sees the flash of the blade, but the master sees the beauty of the struggle. Why do we wait to start? Because we are carrying a mental backpack full of what-ifs. We think we need a map for the whole journey. We pack a heavy coat for a mountain we haven't even reached yet. We carry the weight of 1,000 possible futures, and it crushes us before we take one step. The man named Aeon stayed in his house for weeks because his bag was too heavy to lift. He was safe from the cold and the wolves, but he was also safe from his goal. An old man told him to put down the iron sword for a wolf that isn't there. He told him to put down the tent for a storm that isn't raining. When you tell people your dreams, you add more weight to your bag. You add their expectations. You add their judgments. You add the pressure of not failing in front of them. This is why you must travel light. Carry only what you need for the next 24 hours. Trust your ability to handle the problem when it becomes real. We spend years making ourselves smaller so others are comfortable. We perform for the world. We agree when we don't agree. We speak to fill silence. But the moment you stop performing for the world, your real life begins. Elias was a man who was everywhere, for everyone and nowhere for himself. He realized that people didn't love him. They loved his performance. When he started being real, when he started saying no, some people walked away, but the ones who stayed saw the actual him. Your dream is the most real part of you. If you give it to people who only want your performance, they will try to change it. They will try to make it fit their comfort zone. This is why the architect builds in private. He is not building for applause. He is building for truth. If you feel trapped in the loops of what others think, remember the gesture of release. Clench your fists as tight as you can. Feel the tension. This is what it feels like to hold on to other people's opinions. Now open your hands slowly. Let your fingers spread wide. Feel the release. Your mind is a stubborn thing. It thinks its job is to grip every worry and every doubt. You must teach it a new way. You must treat your thoughts like reeds floating on a river. Notice them, acknowledge them, then let them float by. Do not carry them into your workshop. Tomorrow morning, do not announce your plans. Do not post your goals. Do not seek validation from a world that doesn't see your vision yet. Pick one thing you want to change. Just one. Write it down in a private place, and then take one small action before the sun sets. It might take 5 minutes. It might be replacing one board on a broken bridge. But do it in total silence. Let that quiet action be your protection. Let it be the first root pushing into the soil. Watch how differently your dream grows when it is sheltered from casual opinions. Watch how much stronger you feel when you stop seeking permission and start building proof. The world does not need more people who can describe success beautifully. It needs people who wake up and do the work of actually building it. Your life will not change because you listen to this story. It will change when you close this video and do the one thing you have been talking about for years. The garden is waiting. The bridge is waiting. The masterpiece is waiting. Stop telling, start doing. Let your hands speak before your mouth does not be the silent architect of your own destiny.